welcome to Studio 5. Phil Joel of Newsboys fame is joining us this week, along with hip-hop artist Stephen Malcolm. And we have an early look at a film about one of the most enduring and influential musicians of all time, Louis Armstrong. But first, we want to begin with this week's countdown of the top 5 stories in the world of uplifting entertainment. Here are the first 2.
At number 5.
That's the biggest thing I remember, just, everybody reaching out to me, showing love and, just praying for me.
Answered prayers for this third-round draft pick and Washington Commanders running back.
Brian Robinson, the running back who was shot multiple times in D.C. 6 weeks ago today, made it back on the football field for his NFL debut, and his teammates who embraced him when they called his name out spoke about his comeback.
It's a blessing, because getting shot, you can never know the outcome. Like he could have died, but he out here with us, so it's a blessing. That's why I smile.
It was awesome. I think just emotionally, I think everybody was pretty fired up just to see him back out there. Again, seeing him run out of the tunnel and the fans' reaction, all that gives me goosebumps. Just knowing, again, kind of remove yourself from football, much bigger.
His team lost, but Robinson ran the ball 9 times for 22 yards.
God was the first man. I had to put him first. After I went through the running back drill that you're talking about, I was forced to do a few movements and cuts in that drill that I wasn't completely confident in before walking out on the field.
At number 4.
I have an idea. Let's keep spreading kindness together and think of people and things that we can be kind to.
Jack McBrier's mission to make kindness cool.
The world could use a little more kindness, and it's getting it with Season 2 of Hello, Jack, The Kindness Show. The series strives to pick up where Mr. Rogers left off, modeling good behavior to young kids. The kind of behavior creator and host Jack McBrayer says he wasn't seeing enough of in the world.
I was witnessing grown-ups in day-to-day life treating each other with such a lack of what I perceive to be a lack of civility and a lack of compassion and a lack of kindness. And that disappointed me. That confused me. It hurt me a little.
Season 2 of The Kindness Show is airing now on Apple TV+.
That's a great beginning to our countdown this week, and now we begin this half hour with Phil Joel. The New Zealand musician is a former bassist for the Christian rock group The Newsboys. We spoke to him when the band members united for a reunion tour some time ago, but Joel also has a solo career, and he paid a visit to Virginia Beach to perform on the beach. That's where we caught up with him. Let me begin with what I'm sure is a very familiar question. Any planned projects that will reunite you with the Newsboys?
No reunion plans with the Newsboys at the moment, but you never know.
So we're here on Virginia Beach. What's it like to worship on the beach?
Oh, I love being on the beach. I come from 2 little islands in the South Pacific, and well, they're not so little, but they're islands, and so being by the water makes me feel at home. Makes me feel safe, actually, about being able to look out at the ocean. So being able to play out here and just, a stone's throw from the beach is just kind of wonderful. Yeah.
Does this feel anything like your Live in the Backyard project?
Ah, look at you.
It kind of feels like a little hippie festival, right?
The Backyard thing was, it was 2021 we did that. I did a concert in my backyard for my friends and my neighbors, really. And because COVID, I think, it in my neighborhood where I live, a lot of us didn't know each other. And then all of a sudden, we just sort of started to get to know each other. We're all out walking and, keeping our distance, but kind of getting to know who we were because we all slowed down long enough to have a conversation. And so we sort of thought, hey, why don't we do a little concert in the backyard for everybody and maybe bring everyone together? Because it had seemed to have subsided, We thought we were safe to come.
Every daughter, every son, and let them know how far we've come. We gotta keep our eyes open.
You've been in this business for quite some time with the Newsboys, now solo.
What do you think your staying power is?
Well, I don't, I've been in the business for a long time, and yeah, I'm still here doing it. I don't know what else to do. I'm sort of starting to write with more kind of old rock kind of riffs and stuff, and I just keep getting excited about it. And there's always things to say. There's always things to say, and because God's constantly revealing things to us as individuals, and as artists, I'm always like seeing things that I think, oh, that's a good lyric, that's a good line, that's a good melody, or that's something I want to paint even. I like to paint. And so there's always stuff to explore. So it's kept me. It's kept its lure. Its allure somehow.
More music from Phil Joel is literally just a click away. We also have more from him a little bit later in today's show.
Just moments away.
Devil is a liar. Devil is a liar. Devil is a liar. Devil is a liar.
We're on the beach with the truth.
I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't lead.
Hip-hop artist Stephen Malcolm shares his story.
Introducing the CBN Bible from CBN.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. Or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. All the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.
This is CBN Newswatch.
Thanks for joining us.
Watch breaking news, exclusive stories and programs, credible news reporting.
We show you what's happening in the world and how you can pray about it.
This is CBN Newswatch, because truth matters. Weekdays at 5 on the CBN News Channel.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh, no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
No Super Falls, man. Come.
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes, too. And so much more! Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon! It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
At number 3.
I'm known as the woman of faith at work. I'm the one that I hear somebody struggling with something and I'm like, I'm gonna go to your house and I'm gonna go and pray for your friend. So I'm known to be that person.
Chicago Med's Marlene Barrett thanks fans for prayers and support, revealing her battle with uterine and ovarian cancer.
I have 2 beautiful children. I have a loving husband. And somewhere in me, you command your spirit to overcome the fear.
At number 2.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me.
Warm birthday wishes for Pastor CeCe Winans, whose Believe For It tour is selling out, ahead of her new book coming in November, also titled Believe For It, Passing on Faith to the Next Generation. Of course, I don't know your life, but just from observation, reading your book, I see you and your husband plan to retire, but I kind of feel like you're busier now than you've ever been. Am I correct?
You are so correct. Somebody asked me about my retirement plan. I said, it is not working out the way I thought it was going to work out.
I will raise my voice. I've got Jesus, so I've got joy.
And even
And the family is growing in the process because your son's going to get married if he hasn't already.
Right. And I'm like thinking I want to be like a grandmom and like, hey, slow it down a little bit. It's just like, oh my God. Praise the Lord. God is good.
You can do all things. You can do all things but fail.
Well, that leaves us with just one more story to share in this week's Countdown. We'll have it for you in just a little bit. We turn now to a musical bright spot. Hip-hop recording artist Stephen Malcolm hails from Grand Rapids, Michigan. The Christian musician has seen his music streamed more than 35 million times. He's also been featured on Spotify's New Music Friday and seen his songs used by the NBA on ESPN and VH1's Black Ink Crew. We caught up with him when he paid a visit to Virginia Beach for the annual Sunrise Music Festival.
Had a teenage dream like Katie. I'm doing what I love and they pay me. 2 years and the fans still waiting. Guess the pass on point like Brady. I mash on a boy like Navy. Rage on the stage, make the crowd go crazy. Put the tune up, pack it up, rack it up, have it looking like a trap house in the 80s.
Stephen Malcolm is a young, biracial kid from the Midwest. Mother is white, pops is Jamaican. I come from nothing, bro.
Been trying to get to know my older self and get back to the music.
My mother was physically and sexually abused growing up, so she runs away. Grows up in the system, meets my dad when she's in her 20s, he's in his 40s. 2 months they have me. So yeah, hands her $200 and is like, yo, go get an abortion, I'm gonna go to work. And he comes home, she hands him back the $200 and says, I'll leave. He's like, nah, stay, you know, I'll accept and love both of y'all. Ended up, you know, choosing to sell drugs. Got busted when I was 9, deported him back to Jamaica. That was the last time I seen him. My mom grew up addicted to alcohol, heavy. Someone like, you know, I get from school, she got 40 down in it, you know what I mean? So I raised myself, bro.
Now I feel the glory on me. The glory, the glory.
That was my life, bro. And then everybody, you know, around me was like, you should come check out this hip hop church. Check out this hip hop church. And I'm like, bro, that don't even sound like real. Like, you know what I mean? Hip hop church, never heard of it.
2009 in the dark, chasing. All I had up in my heart was basic. I had to pick me apart, was jaded. Got me creating this art, proclaiming.
Man, one night, you know what I'm saying, got invited. It was like the 4th person. I was like, let me check this thing out. I had nothing to do. And it was the first time, bro, I seen young black and brown people that look like me, dress like me, talk like me. But, bro, they're worshiping Jesus, bro. And it just blew me away.
Just was
looking for identity, bro. Looking for purpose, and I was looking for that at 19 years old, and I walked into a hip-hop church. Gave my life to Jesus, surrendered.
About to break every curse in my family tree. Got to the brush and he painted the dream. He showed me the things that I needed to see.
I wanted to follow Jesus. What does that look like? So my pastor and all the homies came around me, you know what I'm saying, showed me, live out this fellowship, discipleship, be in your word, stay prayed up. And I just surrounded myself with that. Now you see me here, man. God, you know, took it and said, yo, do this for a career, bro. Go, be my tool, and give me glory.
Hey, this the lifestyle of the young and wavy.
So, like I said, Pops is Jamaican, you know what I mean? So I always try to add some Jamaican flair in there, you know what I mean? So this is album 3. How do Jamaicans say 3? Tree.
That's a major killer.
Album Tree, you know, I thought, and I think about my walk, like I just explained, you know, I came to church, I wanted to get rooted. I fall, but I got back up, bro, and carried my cross, bro. And so I've stood firm. And through all that, man, I've watched a lot of fruit. I'm rooted, I stand firm. I bear fruit. Sound like a tree to me.
Look what he did for me.
I'm an artist with no limits, you know what I mean? And I always tell people God has no limits.
Summertime, man, it feel like every day. Summertime, man, it feel like every day.
You can find much more music from Malcolm wherever you get your music, including a collaboration with rapper KB. That single is called On Point. With that, we have made it to a very familiar moment in today's show. It's time for this week's Studio 5 Snapshot.
We're reaching into the archives to celebrate and remember the life of acting legend Angela Lansbury. The London-born actress commanded the stage, big screen, and small screen with a ladylike presence for some 7 decades. Still, she may be best known for the 12 years she played mystery novelist Jessica Fletcher on the CBS series Murder, She Wrote. Lansbury has died at age 96, and we salute her in this week's Studio 5 Snapshot. Still ahead.
Old empty bed, spring on has led.
The life of the legendary Louis Armstrong.
I see trees of green. I see them blue for me and you.
Brings fans to the red carpet in Toronto.
Of course, he was a master musician, but he was a real humanitarian, and there is every man in Louis Armstrong.
I sailing
over the sea.
Oh, will you wait for me?
A look back at Louis Armstrong's Black and Blues is next.
When I came to Regent University, it's like the world opened up. I felt like I needed to advance my career and go back to school. Regent was a perfect fit for me. The Regent professors are world class. You are equipped. The focus of the faculty is on each individual student, whether it's online or in person. You become a part of Regent's family. You carry with you not just the content and the knowledge, but the confidence to understand that we can be significant in the world.
Regent University. Follow your path.
Nigerian Christians
in Iran are routinely arrested.
Nepali Christians continue to suffer.
In times of trial and affliction, you need to know the truth.
One of the fastest growing Christian populations in the world.
Join Wendy Griffith and George Thomas for Christian World News.
Young people are the ones who are open to the gospel.
Powerful stories of suffering and hope that affect all Christians. Saturday night at 6 on the CBN News Channel. Get Protect Your Sleep and discover how to improve the quality of your life. A free DVD or booklet from the Christian Broadcasting Network.
If you're not a great sleeper, you can do things to make yourself a great sleeper. If you're already a pretty good sleeper, you can enhance your sleep and be even better.
5 leading experts help remove the obstacles between you and restorative sleep.
When you don't get a restful night's sleep, you wake up with an accumulation of stress.
Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com to get your free DVD or booklet today.
Everything you do better with a good night's sleep.
You'll discover how food affects your sleep, how to put insomnia to rest, explore effective remedies for sleep apnea, and much more in Protect Your Sleep. Wake up to your best life and get Protect Your Sleep today. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com to get your free DVD or booklet.
Welcome back to Studio 5. We are back with an early look at the life of one of the most enduring and influential musicians of all time, Louis Armstrong. He's the focus of a new documentary that made its premiere at this year's Toronto International Film Festival. The film is called Louis Armstrong's Black and Blues, soon to be streamed on Apple TV+.
I think what's amazing about Louis Armstrong's story is that he's one of those figures where you know his music, you probably know his voice, you might know his face, but you know very little about him, which is, I think, how we all entered this project. And as we started to get into the archive, we realized, not surprisingly, there's such a fascinating story to be told. We very quickly leaned into all of his own archive and all of his own audio that he recorded over many, many years, where essentially he told his own story.
People thought of him a certain way, but he was very conscious about all the social issues that were plaguing our country.
I had no idea how talented and smart and gifted and creative he was. We know his music, we know the power of his music, but all the other things that he was into and that he did and how he expressed himself, he was just the embodiment of art itself. He had a level of intelligence that was just beyond an average person.
You know, it's nice to have a feel-good documentary, because so many documentaries are about really serious topics, and this one has that part of it, but it's also very much a feel-good film.
he's a genius, full stop, in terms of what he's been able to do musically and how he's informed. Every artist you see on a stage today can somehow draw a direct line back to what Louis did.
I watched him grow. Then
What a Wonderful World is everybody's favorite song. I love it when it comes on the radio. It was written for him.
and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Coming up when he did, like, I could assume that racism was a part of what he was dealing with, but of course there's a music industry and gangsters and mobsters and people who want to take advantage of you and so many different things, so many different worlds that he had to navigate that if he was any other person, it wouldn't have happened. It had to be a very special person to be the person he became.
From my house, they laugh at you.
I think anyone who sees the documentary will walk away knowing who Louis Armstrong was. Of course, he was a master musician, but he was a real humanitarian, and there is every man in Louis Armstrong. I wonder at what point did he know what he was contributing to the world, and he obviously did because he saved everything. He curated his own story, and he also brought his message to the world. His message is love.
What a wonderful world.
This new documentary will be available on Apple's streaming platform on Friday, October 28th. Well, with that, we have made it to the final story in this week's countdown of the 5 best uplifting entertainment headlines. Here's what's finishing on top this week.
At number 1.
If you humble yourselves before the Lord, all the answers to life's questions are easy to find.
Maybe I want to do more with my life than just give up.
We travel to Knoxville for a first look at the new film streaming on PureFlix. Nothing is impossible.
You were so close to getting to the NBA.
That's you in the trophy case.
That's me in the trophy case. And this is me now.
God is not done with you. He's still working through you.
This weekend, the Knoxville Silver Knights will be holding open tryouts.
It's a story of forgiveness and second chances with David A.R. White, Robert Amaya, and Stella Parton leading the cast.
What is it about sports that seem to always lend itself to telling really good stories, be it a football film, a basketball film here? What do you think it is about the games that allow us to tell stories like this?
Good question. Wow.
I think it's parallel to life, you know, because we're always trying to grab the brass ring, or we're trying to do better. And when you go out on the court or when you walk out on stage, you're hoping that you're fit and you're able to do your part.
Scott, are you trying out? Aren't you like 40?
Not yet.
Are we rebuilding a franchise or are we casting a reality show?
In just a few moments, it's back to the beach for a final word from Phil Joel.
Christians around the world are standing with the Israelis. But why? In CBN's free magazine, Friends of Israel, you'll discover why Christians are supporting the Jewish state, how Israel is fulfilling prophecy as a light to the nations, and ways you can pray for the people of Israel. Israel needs the support of friends like you. Call now or go to cbn.com to get your free copy of Friends of Israel.
Heavenly Father, we do thank you for the work of your Spirit, Lord God, with this movement of getting the Bible,
Yes.
Lord, into public schools.
Watch The Prayer Link. Tuesday morning at 7:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Welcome back to Studio 5. We love music here in Studio 5, and this week's soundtrack is a country tune from Kane Brown alongside a special guest, his wife, Caitlin Brown. Take a listen and you'll hear why Thank God is what's playing in my ear.
And every night when I close my eyes before I say amen, I thank God I get to wake up by your side. Thank God your hand fits perfectly in mine. And thank God you love me when you didn't have to, but you did and you do, and He knew. Thank God for giving me you.
We are nearly out of time for this edition of Studio 5, so let's pause for a moment and take a look ahead to see what's coming up on next week's show. Check this out.
I'm accepting a double award with my brother.
We're traveling to Music City, Nashville, Tennessee for this year's Dove Awards.
Searching for a heart that will love Him.
And sitting down with gospel music makers.
There was this breaking point for me where I feel like I struck water because I kept digging.
To get the stories.
I wanted to prove to myself that I was going to survive the tragedy.
Behind the award-winning songs.
I was in shock when I won the award.
We're your front row seat to this big night in music.
And you see unity, it's overwhelming.
It feels like a gift from God.
We certainly hope you'll join us for that story and so much more come next week. Before we say goodbye today, though, we want to return to recording artist Phil Joel. He has our final word for the week.
If you could go back in time and give young Phil some advice in light of all that you've gone through and where you are today, what would you tell him?
Stay wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, and excited about life. And to the most part, I've actually stayed as true to that as I can, because there is so much excitement in life. Yes, there is pain, there is struggle, there is tragedy, there is suffering, but there is a lot of wonder out there and excitement and things to get jazzed about, you know? Especially in a world that seems so broken right now and so divided, but it's still a beautiful place. And people are still beautiful, and you know, we can make connections with this planet and with people and with God in new and wild ways at every turn.
Phil Joel, thank you. That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back. See where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.